Hello and welcome to No Such Thing as a Bad Movie podcast. I'm April Atmansky and I'm here today with...
Justin the Clue.
And Colin Cunningham.
Yes.
Oh, sorry. I was taking a sip of my super sweet...
Wait, are you advertising for something? Or like, I was taking a sip of my delicious iced tea brought to you by Adam Sandler.
Yes, right after I put on my Under Armour shirt that everyone is wearing in this movie.
Oh, are they? I didn't even notice.
All the army guys were. Okay, so today we watched.
We're watching again.
We watched Pixels.
Let's rewind this a little second. And take that sentence again, April.
We're watching Pixels. We watched it.
Yeah.
We just watched it. It's the Adam Sandler movie from
2015.
I have no idea.
I think
Is it 2015?
It was a while ago. This is a pre-Netflix Sandler movie.
That's right.
And this was picked by Justin.
Yeah, it's a Toronto because it's a Toronto-based production.
Yeah,
That's
this
true.
is crazy. I was like leaving work today, and I was like, oh, I'm going to watch Pixels, and then somebody at work's like, oh yeah, that was shot in Toronto. It was like University Avenue. Like, oh,
It's not just there.
you can't not see it.
So I realized it almost instantly because the kid goes down, I think it's the convention center. They go down a bunch of stairs, and I was like, oh, is this? Oh, yeah, it's on Toronto. I didn't pick it knowing that. I only realized it when I saw something I recognized.
Yeah, there's weird, and then there's one scene that's like you see the Hamilton Center in the background, and they don't even try to hide the signs,
which is near Toronto.
Hamilton Center,
and a lot of green screens. But anyway,
yes, the Toronto green screens we all recognize.
Yeah. Overall,
down at Queen and Yonge.
I'm going to say something that might shock you. This is probably the best Sandler we've watched this month.
Oh,
you know what? I'm
100%.
not going to argue. You know what? I laughed more during the Ridiculous Six, though.
Oh,
really?
God.
What?
Yeah.
I laughed more at Bucky Larson, unfortunately, but
both of you people are
overall,
insane.
this is a much better movie in terms of quality.
Now it's my turn to do a Justin. Like, what? What are you saying?
I think my main issue with this one is that I don't like anyone on screen, and Sandler looks like there's a gun pointed to him.
Yeah.
But he looked like that in Ridiculous Six,
It's
too.
so weird. He's
Yeah, but
kinda
Ridiculous
doing-
Six, I had the scene with Vanilla Ice playing Mark Twain, or John Turturro inventing the rules of baseball.
He does have this like scrunched up face, like they have like digitally removed the gun to his head.
Yeah,
And like
he's
he's
like,
kind of,
"Hey guys, how's it going?"
he's kind of
Adam
waiting.
Sandler.
Depressed Adam.
Well, he's kind of like scrunched down. He's waiting for like the trigger to be pulled or something. He's like,
Sweet release.
Yeah. But yeah, I mean, this is... I've had a bigger budget, this movie, than
for
a
sure.
lot of the things that we've done.
This feels more like a real movie.
Yeah, it does. It legit feels like
Than
they
any
had
of-
like sets and...
Because it feels like a real movie, it's like... It just washed over me, and I was like, "Oh, it's done, eh? I guess that's it."
Oh, just like a movie should.
I don't feel
yeah.
the pain of like what I wanted to watch, Little Nicky, but then maybe some people on the podcast were like, "No."
we might still get to that. You never know.
Oh yeah, there's still one person that gets to pick a movie.
Well, there's no reason that we can't pick a Sandler movie after the Summer of Sandler. I mean,
so it goes into the fall of
please,
Sandler.
no.
sure.
We got to, guys. We have to stop at some point.
I mean, we don't have to do it this year, but it's like they're not off.
Off the It's not like we burn all the
They're not
movies
off the table.
Hey, I hear that maybe Adam feels a little something in some Spanglish, if you will.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I mean, yeah, I've had some recos of non-Happy Madison Sandler movies that could be on this podcast at some point. But maybe this month or not.
Yeah,
but we're talking about Pixels.
Yeah, this is guys, 100% by far the best movie we watched so far.
I'm not recommending it. We're not recommending it.
No, I'm not saying it's great. I'm just like, maybe my I don't know.
Your 80s kid inside you that loved arcade games is speaking to you.
There's that. It's like maybe my standards are out of whack because we've just been watching like grown-ups.
Bucky Larson, Ridiculous
Bucky
Six.
Larson. So it's just like,
Grown-ups.
It's been like, eating handfuls
we watched Grown Ups.
We did. But it's like, you've been eating like handfuls of dirt for like weeks and weeks and, somebody gives you like a cracker. And you're
I'd rather watch Grown Ups than Pixels.
Really?
I'm taking the April position. Yeah, I get to hang out was my friend's David Spade. What do I have here? I guess Kevin James is here.
Honestly,
but Josh Gad? That's like
Josh Gad
10 ridiculous sixes.
Okay,
I
don't know.
I like Peter Dinklage in this. I thought he was fun to watch.
What voice is he doing?
He's doing a different accent in every scene.
We were trying to figure that out. He sounds like a kind of like April saying like Gambit.
He had a Cajun accent in 2 scenes. That's it. And then he had a totally different accent in the other scenes. But I mean, he was still amusing to me. Like his character's funny.
Kevin James, is he wearing a toupee in this?
I say
Probably,
no.
Is he a bald man?
Maybe.
I don't know.
Well, he's balding.
It looks very suspect, is what I'm saying.
Is Kevin James bald?
Like the thing about this movie is that the horrible Sandler performance aside, this didn't have a lot of the really like bad like cringe humor that I hate about a lot of the newer Sandler movies.
There's a little gay panic in here.
Yeah, no, there is some.
Yeah, there's some.
There's definitely some.
But I'm talking about like the kind of silences, just like after jokes, just like, oh God, was that a joke?
Hey, they test those. Yeah. They go around, make sure that the laughs, the pauses are long enough to let the laughs breathe.
They explain everything.
Where is Sandler's crew? Most of them are not in this.
Well,
I feel is this a Happy Madison film?
It is.
Yeah. Well, I mean, Robert Smigel shows up during the press conference.
We got Smigel and Nick Swartzen.
Yeah, it's
for
like
one scene.
Happy Madison and 1492 Productions or something. I don't know who that is. Oh,
that's
it's Chris Columbus.
Yeah. By the way,
of course.
directed by Chris Columbus.
Where do you guys stand on Chris Columbus? I'm going to say he's directed 2 good films.
Didn't he do Mrs. Doubtfire?
I said 2 good films: Home Alone and Adventures in Babysitting.
Oh, okay.
I'm gonna say he did direct a lot of things that I liked as a kid. I don't think he's a total hack. I know that he's done some bad movies as well. But there's some people absolutely hate him. I'm a little agnostic.
It must be very difficult to hate Chris Columbus.
Yeah, how could you hate him? It's like
that
hating
fucker that made 9 Months and Stepmom.
It's like hating lukewarm water.
Stepmom is okay. And,
you know what?
Those first
I'm
two
gonna get you hating. I'm gonna get you hating Chris Columbus, Colin, because I got a little movie. But what if he was a robot? Bicentennial Man. 131 minutes.
He's done some stinkers.
Oh, it made me hate that Hot Chocolate song.
Oh, what's the Hot Chocolate
trailer
song?
or something?
Yeah, Bicentennial Man. And all the trailers, it was like, I believe in miracles. And then it got to the point where like I loved that song from like the Boogie Nights.
Do you know
soundtrack.
that movie? Do you guys remember that movie? How it ends?
No.
Of an elderly Robin Williams dying in front of a TV that says that finally robots are human. He's like, I can finally die.
Oh no! But I, for a second, I thought you were describing Jack, which also ends with an elderly Robin Williams graduating high school,
dying in front of a TV that says, "Finally, children are real."
The Fall of Williams. That's what we're going to do.
No.
Bad title.
Flubber.
No. Bicentennial Man, Jack.
There's too many bad ones. I think you already did Jack on your other podcast, or Justin.
Did I?
So
Probably when we did Francis Ford Coppola, right?
I think so.
Well, a deep dive, I think.
Yeah.
Is necessary for Jack to... A film I thought... Toys? People like toys.
I liked toys as a kid.
What about Twixt? Do you like Twixt?
Oh, I do like Twixt.
What?
Patch Adams?
For a second, I was like, Robin
Who
Williams
doesn't love Patch Adams? I remember my dad. Okay, so when Patch Adams came out, I was so offended by the trailer. It just looked so, just pandering and like just saccharine like crap. And then I remember my dad like telling me, "Oh my God, we watched this movie the other night." Oh, it's just hilarious. And it was like
Patch Adams.
Robin Williams. I'm like, oh no. It's like played a doctor, Patch Adams.
Well,
I was just like, when you have to bite your lip.
Yeah,
it's like,
and then April was like, hey, I saw a really funny movie starring Robin Williams as well.
Yeah.
You're like, oh no, Mrs. Doubtfire.
I mean,
hey, come on, that was enjoyable.
Such a great movie.
Hello. It was a drive-by fruiting.
Oh man, me and my pal Will Sloan, DTV sequel, Mrs. Doubtfire 2. Guess who's Mrs. Doubtfire now? Pierce Brosnan.
Oh, I was gonna say French Stewart.
Oh yeah. Oh, I mean, I guess.
Is this a bit on your Pierce Brosnan episode?
Yeah. We're talking about what Mrs. Doubtfire, what we want to see from Pierce.
Yeah, I mean, that would be great.
I would love that.
Well, he could be like, I knew this man once that fooled his family. I could do it too, because
Well,
he also has to get his kids back.
And then
This is the thousandth time I bring it up. There's a very funny article online on Clickhole where it's Pierce Brosnan, and it's I don't know who was under the Mrs. Doubtfire makeup.
To this day, I don't. Maybe I'll never know.
I called Robin Williams and asked, maybe, do you know? Sadly, I learned he had passed away.
I would love for him to find like his character in the movie to go up to the attic or something and find like
and he finds the suit,
like a box.
And he's like,
yeah. But it's a box, and then it's got like all the stuff in there, and then he like starts doing his, maybe Harvey Firestein would come.
Yeah,
back.
you got to bring back Harvey Firestein.
And they treat it
Harvey
like
Fierstein.
Paul Walker in the Fast and Furious movies, where it's like Robin Williams is off screen somewhere.
Yeah, that'd be great.
They do one last drive.
Oh no, he'd come. Yeah, he'd come like a hideous AI Robin Williams.
Well, speaking of Home Alone,
they look at each other from the cars, and they're both Mrs. Doubtfires.
We ran it through AI, but all of Robin Williams' bits from before, and it doesn't really. We can't do those anymore. We had to destroy the AI. He kept doing the black guy voice.
Well, Chris Columbus did Home Alone, one of the greatest Christmas movies. And
I love Home Alone.
That has been sequeled into oblivion.
Oh my God. Yeah.
No sequel for Mrs. Doubtfire.
Yeah,
right?
It's
So
too,
what's up with
too
that?
pure
Too pure.
for this world.
Too precious.
Home Alone, great movie. Chris Columbus, his first film was National Lampoon's Vacation, but he hated working with Chevy Chase so much.
Yeah.
He was like, I can't do this. And he
Really?
left a couple weeks into production. Yep.
No shit. Wow, everyone hates Chevy Chase, even like back then.
Yeah, apparently.
I mean,
he's always
Holy
been a jerk,
shit,
I guess.
wow.
I guess so. But yeah, Chris
So-
Columbus, he's made some good movies.
Wait, did he do Uncle Buck as well?
Yeah. Or was that John Hughes?
No. That was John Hughes. Sorry, shooting hadn't started. Chevy Chase was such an asshole. He left before shooting started.
Oh my God.
And it was his directorial debut. Isn't that insane?
He could have done Vacation.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, most people would just suck it up and go, okay,
But
fine, I'll do it.
now Chris Columbus seems a little bit like a director for hire because you see him in this and you're just like, I'm glad that they got a quote unquote real director to direct one of these Adam Sandler movies. And that's probably a reason why it looks so good. But Dean Cundy shot Jack and Jill, so
Yeah.
But this movie looks fantastic, I have to say.
It looks okay.
Visually,
It has slick. It looks expensive.
It has a budget, and I think
It cost $88 million or something like that.
and probably most of that went to the visual effects.
I would have expected more. I'd probably like to Sandler and his crew.
Yeah, but his crew is not here. There's no Chris
No, it's
Rock.
true,
There's
it's
no
true.
David
Wait,
Spade.
didn't Grown Ups cost like $90 million or
Yeah,
something
it's
like
something
that?
I've seen.
I'm actually surprised the budget of Pixels is that low. I would have thought it would definitely be over 100.
Yeah, for
No.
sure.
But yeah, and I think the reason why I kind of jived with it so much is because it's cartoony. It's not trying to look like like the Avengers.
Yeah.
That's trying to look real.
I like the vibe. I like the kind of look that they went
The
with
lighting
for all the
of
the-
the-
You know what? Yeah, I thought the
Pixels.
lighting was very good. I thought the visual effects were very well realized.
Yeah.
Then you cut to like a expressionless Adam Sandler firing a light gun at it.
Yeah, or like negging Michelle Monaghan.
Yeah.
Oh,
my
yeah.
god.
Which was uncomfortable.
No, I really liked the effects. I like the look that they went for. It was very like fun and cartoony, and like all the kind of cubes. It all kind of breaks down into like little cubes.
Yeah.
Everything was really well done.
I feel like that kind of almost outweighs all the bad stuff in this movie.
Yeah, I think so. I think if you
Like a lack of laughs.
well, if you just
a nonsensical
like if
plot.
you just swap out Sandler, and I find I'm just saying this for all of his movies. If you just swap out him because he feels like
get
kind of
Gad out of there too.
sleepy and lame.
Who would be like? I mean, 2015. Would you get The Rock for this? Like,
Or
that sounds like something
even
that he
like
would
Chris
do.
Pratt would be better. But,
Yeah.
I mean, he's Mr. Boring now too.
Wait, yeah. When the Guardians of the Galaxy 2 first one come out, I want Fat Pratt. I don't want Buff
Yeah,
Pratt.
I think he would be good.
I think it was
Yeah.
around this time. But yeah, I mean, like, okay, so the movie starts, and of course, the kids are, our main characters are children, as is seemingly a theme in all of Sandler's movies. They start
'cause
off
he's
as
like,
children.
Hey, can I not show up for like the first 10 minutes? Yeah? All right, sweet.
So him and his friends are video game heads. And by the way, the font of the credits is the font of the No Such Thing as the Bad Movie podcast.
Yeah, it's like the
Is
video.
it?
Yes,
yeah,
it's called VCR.
It's the video.
Oh,
yeah.
I've used that one too before.
It's the video font. It's good. I love all the opening credits. I think it's very stylish. The way they're kind of incorporated into the environment and stuff, and like on the screens.
Now, this has a weird problem at the beginning where Adam Sandler's character is like, I don't even really like video games.
I know.
And it's like,
Yeah.
okay, so you're passionate about nothing?
Yeah.
Well, he's like, I used to like these 5 games that were when I was a little kid, and now I hate video games, basically. And it's like, does he even still play those games now? You don't
No.
see him
No,
do
no,
it.
no, you
you
don't.
never even see his
And you know
house.
what? It doesn't even matter if he plays them because his performance as the guy who knows video games doesn't have any impact on like driving cars.
No, it's very it's very
No.
strange. But it's like it's
You can
very
count
funny
to 10 though.
because it like in every movie they have to have him be the best at everything. So when they have this flashback, it's like him and Kevin James, a young Kevin James. They go to the arcade that's opening in their town and they're playing like whatever. And Kevin James is like, wow, you're amazing
You're
at
the
this.
best.
You're the best at everything, Adam Sandler. And it's like, okay.
Yeah.
And then
Okay,
you get-
but I mean, they go out of their way to make him a huge loser, and when he grows up, but he's kind of not. I don't know.
Well, we get this whole competition, so it's like he's invited to like this is 1982, the flashback. They go to the Toronto Convention Center.
And real Canadian fest. Dan Aykroyd's there.
Oh God, yeah. Oh God,
Oh,
I forgot.
Dan Aykroyd, or the
forgot.
presence of Dan Aykroyd, shows up
Yes.
a little later in the movie.
Oh,
that.
does he
When
ever?
someone's like, I need a drink of Crystal Skull vodka.
I believe it's Crystal Head. I think
Okay.
Crystal,
Oh, it's Crystal
Skull
Head?
might be something else, but it is in a skull.
I
bottle.
tried. Steven Spielberg wouldn't let me have that name.
Yeah, yeah.
But wait, he doesn't associate with it anymore.
Does he not?
No, someone told me that he doesn't do Crystal Head vodka anymore.
What? Really?
I've had it. It's okay.
That's
Yeah,
fine.
it's cool.
Not
That's the
sure.
only reason.
I mean, yeah, it's got a cool bottle.
It's got a cool bottle.
about
Just
it.
save the bottle and put something good in there.
Yeah, like water.
Oh, wait. April 8th, 2024. Dan Aykroyd shares memories in Chicago, showcases Crystal Head vodka. He's still in, baby.
All right, he's still at it.
He's always like shilling that stuff like on every show that he goes on. I'm surprised he didn't have like a bottle of it when he was like in 1982.
Like in his hands when he was.
Hi, welcome to
announcing
the
at beginning.
1982 championships. So it's like Josh.
Do you know why Dan Aykroyd is in this movie? Because it's in Canada, and you have to hit a certain point to get tax breaks.
Is it
That's probably the only reason.
CanCon?
Yeah.
It could
You have
be
to
they
have
gotta
an
get the CanCon.
Aykroyd, an Aykroyd or a
Well, they had
Thomas.
Well, there's a person that you had worked with before in this movie.
Oh, really?
I'm assuming
Colin?
he's Canadian. You know, the military guy.
Uh,
We'll get to it when we
oh
get to
yeah,
that scene.
okay.
Josh Gad.
No.
Okay, so the big competition.
So they have the competition. We're introduced to Peter Dinklage's character when he's very young.
This is just like the beginning of Grown
Really
Ups.
doesn't look that much different than.
I liked
adult
this
Peter
actor
Dinklage.
who played young Peter Dinklage. I thought again he was doing a perfect Peter Dinklage impression.
His the way he spoke was like, I'm like, is that Peter Dinklage? Like he's
No.
the same size. You can't really tell, but
He was good.
he was good. It sounds exactly like Peter Dinklage. But then we'll get to. So he's like some rock star. It's like what is his name? Fire Blaster or Finger Blaster?
I think it's Fire Blast.
Fire Blast. And he's got these two babes. with
Finger
him.
Blast.
Finger Blaster. I don't know. But he's like,
That's Colin's name. Were you looking in the mirror, buddy?
But yeah, he
"Where's
is.
Finger Blaster, the 1982 Finger Blast champion?"
He's in an
Oh, God.
he's an amalgam of Billy
Billy
Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah,
That's right. Who,
We all had Billy Mitchell fever in 2015.
Yes. we
everyone
did.
saw that documentary,
The King of
including
Kong.
me.
Oh, that documentary rules.
It's very
famous,
good, yes.
famous fraud, Billy Mitchell.
Yeah.
Oh, how dare you? We're going to get letters now.
What from him and his like fucking 92?
Well, he supposedly, I think he sent a like letter to regular show when they made fun of him at some point.
Yeah.
Like,
Really.
Yeah.
I think. Well, he was like suing some like YouTube channel that
my
like kind of
God.
proved that he was a cheater, and now it's like out that like he fucking allegedly faked everything.
Well,
The
we don't know
director
for sure.
of King of... Oh, yeah. For legal reasons, we cannot confirm and or deny Billy Mitchell cheated.
Allegedly.
Yeah.
The director, Seth Gordon of King of Kong, almost directed this movie because they're like, can we get a video game guy?
Yeah. I mean, that could have been interesting.
Because he had already made at this point 4 Christmases, which we all love. The one where Jon Favreau plays an MMA fighter. Horrible Bosses.
Oh, Horrible Bosses is
okay.
okay. Yeah.
Identity Thief. And then
that's the Melissa McCarthy movie.
Holy shit! I've never even heard of these.
And then I think that's the one that's written by Craig Mazin, right?
I'm not sure. I saw some of it.
Mr. Chernobyl himself.
Oh, it's not very good.
Well, to my eyes, Mr. Rocket Man, Senseless, and Scary Movie 3 and 4.
You mean the Rocket Man with
Harlan Williams?
Oh no! Are you kidding?
Who I swear I saw on a subway, and people say it wasn't him, and I was like,
wait, you saw Harlan
like
Williams or the movie
like...
Rocket Man?
Oh no, Harlan Williams himself. I mean, he is the Rocket Man. That's what friends and family call him. So
hey, Rocket Man. He's like, didn't he like fart in his like spacesuit? That was the big thing in the commercial.
That is the cover of the image.
Okay,
the movie.
It's him.
Wasn't like
seemingly dying in space because he's floating out. And the thing behind him exploded.
But didn't he fart? And then, like, the kind of fart bubble moved up the tube into the next guy's.
And they're like, oh, no.
So, for some reason, they're all connected.
So you've seen this movie.
No,
I'm looking at the Rocket Man.
Okay.
I'm looking at the Rocket Man review I gave it. A rare half star.
That's bad. I mean, that's low.
This is the hell. I wrote, this is the hell Jim Carrey delivered upon us for our sins.
That's low for you, Justin. Half star.
Yeah, I probably like it more now.
Would you?
William Sadler's in it. He's funny.
Yeah, I think he's the one who gets the fart in the face. Because I remember going, oh!
I mean, I'm laughing thinking about it, so.
Well, we should watch it. As long as it's, not much more than that scene.
It's from the director of Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles 3.
Is that where they go back in time?
Yep, and they go to Japan, even though it was like a Hong Kong production.
Oh,
so
it was like samurai times.
The Return of Shaggy Dog, which is the most horrifying poster you have ever seen.
Really?
Have you ever seen Shaggy Dog?
I saw the original.
The Tim Allen?
No. Oh, man, we should do that.
No,
I haven't seen any of them.
Look at this cover. I just sent it to you.
All right.
It looks like a werewolf film or something like that.
Oh, God. That looks fake. It doesn't look real.
That looks like a real dog's head.
Why
on
is
top
he
of a
looking
human
under
body.
like a platter?
Oh man,
I don't know.
It's like if you imagine like the 1950s The Fly, but it's like a dog head instead of a fly.
It kind of looks like
That's exactly what The Return of the Shaggy Dog is a 1987 2-part television movie midquel to the What the hell are you talking about?
midquel.
Oh god, he looks like he's like cross-eyed or something.
Well, it's a guy in a mask, dude.
Yes, it's a dog
You
mask.
can see the eye holes.
Yeah, but that mask
No,
looks...
they built a suit where they put a dog in a human-sized thing, so it would stick out.
Wait, okay, that's how I'm looking at the picture and
He's
I'm like,
just
that's how they
joking.
would do it. Don't you?
No, it's just a mask call.
Don't mock me.
We need to talk about Pixels at some point.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so anyway, he loses the big competition.
He loses to Dinklage, and it's like, first of all, it's like you're some young kid. It's like video games have just come out at this point. You're already in the championships, and they make it out like, wow,
it's a
what a
failure.
loser.
Yeah.
What a failure you are to come in like...
He was like second place.
in the world.
In the world.
Yeah.
I think it was a world competition.
Yeah. So anyway,
I want to be second place. That's nice. Number 2.
Well, not, to derail this, but it's related to this movie. There's a YouTube channel I watch called Summoning Salt that does very, very good YouTube videos. You could call them mini documentaries on video game world records, and it's fascinating.
Like speed runs and all that sort of stuff?
Mostly speed runs,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's high score stuff. It is incredibly fascinating, the techniques and the innovations that people come up with, and the rivalries that exist. But they're not like they're mostly friendly. They're not mean like they are in this movie where he's like number 2, But anyway, check out that YouTube channel because it's really, really good.
And they're very dramatic the way they're edited as well.
Yeah,
It's like,
and it's also
then so-and-so
and then he
came
held
out.
the world record for 5 days because then this player, but it's also it's like set to like vaporwave.
2 hours long.
A lot of them are, yeah. It depends. I think the Tetris one was, and that one was wild. That was so cool.
It's like I'm
Did
watching.
you ever read that article about the guy that he was doing something about like Tetris. I think he was interviewing maybe someone who's in charge of the high scores. And he said, "Oh, my wife is really good." And he told the guy the score, and the guy went, "That is a world record." And he went,
Wow.
"Huh? What?" And his wife went, and she won the world record.
Well,
I've
I've never heard that, because the thing I bring up all the time when I watch these videos is that no one who is ever mentioned in any of these videos, and there's like 100, are women or identify as women.
Really?
No, they're
Not
always.
one?
I've never seen one.
Why? That can't be true, though. I was talking to somebody at a party recently, and I had like the little Game Boy emulator thing you can get, and she was telling me games I should play for. She's like, "Oh yeah, I do speedrun stuff." So they're out there.
I know they're out there, but maybe they're just not winning world records, or I mean, again, a lot of times you don't know who is behind the screen name, but a lot of these videos, people are live streaming these. Oh man, there was one that was,
as I said to April, they've got better things to do.
probably there was one that was Super Mario 64 blindfolded, so people beat the whole game
my God.
blindfolded.
This is what I say when I hear that. I go, "Man, you could have like done anything else."
I know, and yet I know, but yet I watch these videos and I'm like, this is pretty cool.
I say that as we're doing a podcast on pixels.
Yeah.
True.
So
We
I'm
could've-
not one to talk.
We could have
Yeah.
been doing
But, like-
That you picked, by the way.
But why? But why would you do that? It's a classic. Like, why climb a mountain? It's like, yeah,
It's
you got me
just
there.
like I was talking about the Olympics the other day. Why prove that you are the best at pole vaulting or whatever?
Well, April was wondering. She was asking me what the value of the Olympics. Like, what is the best? What's the
net
point?
positive?
What's the point of saying that you're the best in the world at something? Or
It means nothing. Well, being the best of anything means nothing of like a goal that you beat.
No,
It
but-
feels
that is
good.
not helping
It feels
someone.
good for you, but it doesn't
Yeah.
really do anything for the
No.
world. But I came to the conclusion that it inspires people.
yeah, but
Did you have like a button on your table where you're like, Nuke Olympics, Keep Olympics?
yeah.
And you're like, Colin, what is the value of
Well,
the
I mean,
Olympics?
Like I'm
what's
Dr.
the
Evil.
value of being good at anything? Like it's
Yeah, exactly.
you know what I mean? It's just sort of
Well, at the end of the day, if someone's like, hey, I beat Mario 64 blindfolded, and they told me that at a party, I'd be like, that's cool.
It is.
That's it. That's all you
it
get.
is, as is
Why?
as is in this movie. It is attractive to other people. You know, not just romantically, but you know, friends or whatever, to see people who are good at something. And it's not just,
Yes.
oh, I have this natural talent. It's, I worked really hard at something to be the best. And I'm sure some of those people are also assholes, but it is like, wow, this person cares about something. They don't just float through their life and do nothing, you know?
That the person at the party who told me, I used to have the world record on Night Trap to beat it. And I was like,
No.
oh,
Really?
can you do it now?
That's crazy.
Do it now. I want to see it. And she was like, oh, no. I guess it was like asking someone like, oh, you know, I'm really good at the piano. I'm like, play me a song.
well,
Yeah.
like piano is like I don't know. That seems very different to me. So it's like
Well, they
being,
don't- they're at a
being
party,
good at
they
Night
don't
Trap
wanna-
wouldn't mean anything to me. And it's like, wow, I'm the best piano player in the world. It's like, oh my god, like that'd be
But also, Night Trap is
you'd probably cry listening to them. You know what I mean?
yeah.
Where it's like,
But certain people, seeing somebody do a world record Night Trap run would be amazing.
yeah, what?
Yeah, it causes them to like shit and piss and vomit all at once.
Well, there's a reason why people stream video games. People watch
People love
them.
to watch it.
Yeah.
I think
do.
it's a power thing. Like you like to see someone achieve something, right?
Yeah.
And if it's something recognizable to you that seems impossible, you get a thrill from seeing
Yeah,
that.
that's why I like those videos, and because a lot of them are, not all of them are on games that I played. Now this movie, didn't play any of these games.
Yeah, I don't know any.
They're a
I
little-
know of
They're a
those.
little
This is-
before
yeah.
my time.
This is my
Oh.
domain.
your era. Yeah.
When they were like, "Hey, Mr. Cunningham, look at this Pong game." You're like,
Well, it's like, this was the whole intro scene of them in like '82 and stuff, going into the arcades and like this was my life. Like I loved arcades.
I missed arcades.
I know, man.
they still exist. There's a bunch of them in Toronto.
They're
Yeah.
more barcades now.
Yeah, and they're free to play. There's a new one that's opening up that's gonna have like the 50 pinball machines that used to be at
Ooh.
Meeple Mart. So
Oh, yeah, but like Chuck E. Cheese, man. When I was a kid, I would like almost cry with excitement, like
Yay,
when
I get to play all these games.
We'd go like every year, for our birthdays to like Chuck E. Cheese, and it was just the best. Like I just love that stuff, like Donkey Kong, Pac-Man.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
what was your favorite?
I think to this day probably Dig Dug.
Okay.
And when
Yeah,
I go to Get Well, I still play that. It's
That's
like-
a local bar
it's-
here that has arcade games, and
Yeah.
yeah, you always play Dig Dug.
Dig Dug's great, but I love Pac-Man. I remember when the the first time I ever saw it, it was like, holy shit, like, what is this?
I did play Pac-Man on our first PC computer.
Gorf.
Everyone play. I never liked Pac-Man. I'd play it if it was there. It's very easy to play.
I personally found it too hard.
Yeah, it's very hard. Galaga is another one. Galaga and Galaxian.
Or Qbert, and I'm like, what the hell's going on?
Yeah.
What am I supposed to do? I give up.
Qbert was very hard. Gorf, that was another one.
Gorf.
Yeah.
Are you just making them up at this point?
Sure.
We all love
Sure, why not?
Gorf.
Like Centipede, that was in this movie. I know all the games that were in this
You know which one I really like was the one where you're on an ostrich. Joust.
Oh, Joust, yeah, that was great.
They
Joust was a lot
have
of
that
fun,
at
yeah.
Getwell.
Yeah, you'd have to like flap, blah, 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 blah. They kind of changed them out at Getwell from time to time.
I think so, but they have like actually, I think they got a couple new ones actually. Anyway,
Zach
Kevin-
This episode is brought to you by Getwell.
Anyway, Kevin James is the president of the United States.
And he's just
yeah.
he's just having dinner or lunch. Or
Yeah, because we
whatever.
go from being kids to them being adults.
Yeah,
Yes.
present day. He's just like having lunch with like Adam Sandler at like some I don't
Some
know.
wing joint.
Yeah, it's just like whatever. They've shut down the whole intersection for this to
It
happen.
looks like they shut down the whole bar.
Yeah, and it's like Adam Sandler is like part of like the Geek Squad or something like that.
I think it's called like the nerd.
It's called like Nerd Crew
or something.
I don't know what it is.
Yeah.
But he has no home.
But it's like then they
No.
leave and it's like, okay, we're going back to work. And then like what is it like Kevin James is like, yeah, it's you were good at video games, like
You're wasting your
you're
life.
wasting your life, but it's like that's a useless skill. It's like being a really good blacksmith. And then they go
That's not
outside and like
useless.
just like crowds like booing Kevin James, like you're ruining our country and you're like destroying our education system.
Man, this is
kinda
like
funny.
1 year before the presidents would change.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
It's true.
It's like-
so when this came out, it was kind of a joke that someone like Kevin
yeah.
James could be the president.
Yeah.
But he's not even that bad. Like he flubbed reading books to kids, and people were like, "You're illiterate," which is kind of ridiculous.
yeah, all the kids. It's like when,
God, if he could see presidents doing speeches now, Mike, they
who
could
was
barely
it, like,
talk.
who was it that misspelled potato? Was it
I don't
Dan?
know.
Was it Gore? No, wait, it wasn't Al Gore. Dan
Quail.
Quayle. I think so. And the kid, like some kid was like, "Oh, a potato, Potato," and then he said, "No, there's like an e at the end," and the kid was like, "No."
Oh,
And it
so
was-
I
Yep, it happened
outsmarted-
during a spelling bee.
Yeah, and it was like this huge embarrassment, and it's just like,
Oh, so I guess that's what.
that's probably what it was. Yeah.
But also, like the clip that they show of him reading to the kids looks exactly like when George Bush was doing
Yeah, the
it.
towers are falling.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah, I was
and like so
waiting-
that's intentional. It
was-
has to be. I was
yeah.
waiting for someone to come over and say, "Oh, Mr. President."
I was waiting for Pistachio Disguisey to come up and go, the president.
Yeah.
He did the tower.
But all the kids like start yelling at him, which was funny.
I'd be the turtle man.
Yeah. Oh, turtle.
Yeah. But then the world is attacked by some pixels.
Okay, I found it very disturbing when people get killed by the pixel aliens.
Yeah.
That they're like, oh,
Some
as he
people get killed
disintegrates.
and some people don't.
But they aren't killed, you see.
They're not killed.
Yeah.
Okay, so
they come back at the
every
end.
time the aliens win a battle, they take one trophy. So one person gets turned into pixels, gets sucked up into their ship, and then they remain on the ship fully alive.
Well,
And they come back at the end of the movie.
it was reminiscent of Thanos, disintegrating people, Jean Grey in X3 disintegrating people, and also, if anyone saw that last Hunger Games movie, they had like basically a pixel machine that would make you turn into
Wait,
they?
which one?
the last one.
What with the young people?
Hunger Games?
Like the new one that came out.
No,
Yeah.
no.
I'm not watching
Sorry,
Hunger Games
not the
until-
new one.
Okay, so the fourth Hunger Games.
the one that before the Song of Snakes and
So
Firebirds.
with what's his name? I was gonna say Dustin Hoffman, Donald Sutherland.
Yes.
So with him, he had a pixels machine.
Yeah. And people are like running and they're like hit by these beams of light and they fall into cubes, essentially.
What?
It was gruesome. I mean, in those movies in the books, they get pretty, I don't want to say R-rated, but they get pretty violent
Holy
towards the end.
jeez. Well, this sounds like a.
Anyway, so this is exactly what happened in this movie. And people are like screaming, so it's kind of, and that one guy's hand gets disappeared.
Well, they all get kind of
the
sucked
end.
up into the pixel things, and I don't know. It's just very. I kind of like the effect of
Me too.
stuff and like walls turning, and you can.
Yeah, it looks
All
cool.
the cubes are like falling down, and like all the interactive
Smoke.
light is really well
Cube
done.
smoke.
Yeah. Oh man, that's
neat.
yeah. They had April pointed this out, but like something catches on fire, it would be kind of like pixelated, but like 3D, like kind of voxels. And then in the background, it's like has smoke coming off of it that's made of like 3D cubes. It's really a very, very cool look.
Yeah, I mean, this Adam Sandler movie has some badass visual effects.
It's got some good effects.
We should shout out the original short film that this is based on.
So I remember watching this on YouTube when it came out, and it was just, I think it was some VFX dude that just did it on his own or something like that.
Do you think he got much money for them to make like a whole...
They definitely paid him out.
Yeah,
I'm sure,
okay.
yeah. Do you think he was really disappointed, like he didn't get...
Like he wanted to direct it?
Yeah.
Probably, yeah.
Maybe.
But they're like...
Get out of here.
Come on, scram, kid.
We're bringing in
Christopher
Chris
Columbus.
Yeah.
He'll do exactly
Well,
what we
people
say.
would be like,
Yeah.
but Futurama did that before that, I believe, didn't they?
Because
there's the episode where they come down with all the video game.
I mean, there's probably a lot of precedent.
I think it's part of one of their anthologies.
That's right, yeah.
Yeah, and
Which
I think
came
it's
before.
just like the visual reference specifically. I remember the Tetris.
That's right. I remember
blocks.
Fry like driving back and forth and shooting like the Space Invaders.
Yeah.
Yeah. What the hell?
But again, it's not like he made up the idea of putting video
No,
games
it's
in real
not.
life. But it's like visually, I think that probably Sandler and crew saw that and were like, I could make that into a movie.
Well, you know,
I don't think you've ever whipped out your Sandler voice before, April.
but I was saying,
I was like, Owen Wilson's in the room.
but he kind of talks like that in this movie. He's kind of,
Yeah, he does.
He's like bordering on like little Nicky.
Little Nicky-ish.
Like, yeah, we gotta get the Space Invaders.
Okay, so you know Eastern U, right, guys? Have you ever met him?
Yes.
You know,
Yep.
he was Sandler's assistant during this film.
Oh.
Wait, is this the guy?
He said, "What? He's not in the movie."
No. Is
but-
this,
Is
you
this your
keep
Sandler
telling us
story?
about like,
Oh yes, it was Eastern.
Oh, man, it was
and,
Easter. I just saw him like a month ago. I could have asked him.
and he always does the voice.
and he always does the voice, even when he's on the can.
Oh,
That is confirmed. Yes.
Wow, I didn't know that was Eastern, but that's
Take it
funny.
out, poopy.
Yeah.
The thing
exactly.
was, I could have used that in this movie because it's just, again, it's just like this.
He's a flatline.
so sleepy.
going on?
Hey, what's going
He
on?
comes in to
me, Adam Sandler.
install a TV at Michelle Moynihan's house, and he's like, "Wow, you're pretty," and then he just continues to insult her for the rest of the movie.
He's like, "Hey, I thought you'd be one of those like high school beautiful moms that let themselves."
Oh, yeah, it's like snooze. But he's
He
like,
talks- yeah.
he's like talking to her kid. It's like this disgusting shit boy who's like,
This kid seemingly loves Sandler.
he looks
I mean,
like.
every kid loves Sandler. They love him.
But this kid, and he's so precocious, and he's like barely in the movie, but he looks like a character from like Spielberg's AI. Like he looks not real.
a little robot-esque.
Yeah, he has like this AI look to him. I can't explain it.
Which is funny because there are actual robots in this movie, not from the aliens.
not explained, by the way.
Not really.
And not even characters.
But Michelle Moynihan is in this movie a lot more than she's kind of like the second lead.
Yeah.
Like she's in a lot of it.
The kid kind of explains to Sandler. So Sandler shows up as like part of his new nerd crew to like install this kid's like stereo and PlayStation, blah, blah, blah. And it's like this strange man shows up at your house and he's like, oh, my mom's like divorcing my dad because she cheated on her.
I would
blah,
love
blah.
a father, a cool
I'd
guy
love
like
that.
you.
Oh, you look really
I
cool.
hate like kids in movies who are trying to like hook strangers up with their parents. It's creepy.
Yeah, and Michelle Moynihan is like, she's like attracted to him like kind of immediately.
Yeah,
Yes,
even though
sister of Bobby Monahan.
no, it's spelled differently.
When I think of sister of Bobby Moynihan, I think of just Bobby Moynihan in a
That
dress.
was a wig.
Wig going, oh no, it was a
Yeah, what is the
Fuji."
Bobby were you making a face that I couldn't see? Like,
Yes. I was going, oh.
Yeah.
we all love Bobby
He's
Monahan.
funny. Yeah, Bobby Moynihan's pretty funny.
She loves it.
Now, I wish he would be let go of the curse of SNL.
Yeah, he's still on there.
If only he was in this other than
Ooh,
Josh
he
Taking
Gad
the
or
could be
something.
Josh Gad role, yeah.
Yeah, he
for
would be
sure.
so much funnier. Josh Gad is just uncomfortable, and I think that's the point. But like, it's not funny.
It's just
Wait, so I searched Bobby Monahan, how many years on SNL? And it came up 47 years. I think His age, not how many years.
Wait, is that stupid Google AI search?
No, I just search in Google. I don't have Google AI, so.
No, that's the length of his contract. It's like Lorne Michaels owns
So
him.
he's got
another 47 years.
23
Bobby.
more years to go.
Well,
No,
okay.
wait, didn't he quit? It says here he quit in 2017, or is he back?
No. He'll always be
Okay.
back.
I haven't watched SNL.
Never know because you don't watch it.
So Moynihan is like, she's getting wasted up in her. So this is like, Adam Sandler just goes upstairs and like, because he hears her crying in the closet, and she's like, oh, and he's like, I'm coming into the closet.
And, yeah, this
Their
stranger,
closet is like bigger than like our bedroom.
than our bedroom.
It's
yeah.
huge.
It's
and then
really big.
She's getting wasted, and he's like, oh, and they like have like a meet cute and like fall in love in this closet.
Even though he says he didn't brush his teeth.
Yeah.
So
he goes to make out with her and stuff. And then they immediately get called to go to the White House. He's like nagging her and
both
like,
of them. And so that's just the rest of the movie. They get swept up into this political intrigue of video game aliens.
I guess like Adam Sandler as friend of Kevin James can just go to the White House and like
Sure.
whatever he wants. Everyone
he has
knows
full
him.
clearance.
Full security clearance.
You think that Joe Biden had a Adam Sandler-like friend?
I would
that he
hope.
could play like, I don't know, Tiddlywinks or
Maybe
something with?
Obama did.
It was like his 79-year-old friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, it was actually Jeffrey Katzenberg, the king of the short bite, Quibi. I'm not even joking. That he was like
he was
a
friends
very,
with Biden.
Yeah, he was like one of his main advisors.
What?
Oh
who?
no, I heard that he donated like a shit ton of money to
Whose
his
advisors?
campaign. Biden.
Jeffrey Katzenberg, yeah, the guy Quibi who was part of the Disney Renaissance and tried to tank it at every turn.
You know, my friend Jeffrey Katzenberg tells me that the
Shrek 5's
future's
coming.
it's going to be on square screens. Going to enact a federal
It's a new
law.
thing, square screens.
It's going to be square screens.
Do you think Joe Biden got Jeffrey Katzenberg? Because he's like, I can't do Joe Biden. Just, I love Shrek 4.
Sounds like your Pierce Brosnan impression.
Yeah, that is my favorite.
Square screens.
Joe Biden's in Mamma Mia 3.
Executive
Oh my
order.
God.
Square screens for every home
There is
in
no
the US.
Mamma Mia 3, right?
Is there?
Well, soon there's going to be one with
is-
Joe Biden.
They only made 2. That's my question.
I was the fourth one to bang Meryl Streep.
I haven't even seen the first 2.
Are there two?
Yeah, they
There's
just
2
they
Mamma
came out with a
Mias.
new
So
one.
did she get like gangbanged by like all these people?
yeah, that's
something
what
like that.
Mamma Mia is about. All of them
thought it
having
was
sex
something
at
like
once.
that.
Wasn't
Yeah.
it? It was
I
like
think
five
it's like
guys, the boner.
It was, no, it
The
was like
plot-
in the
the
same
plot
night
is-
or something.
Is it the same night?
I haven't seen it, so I don't know.
I thought they all
I
like.
have so
No, or
many
maybe
Mamma
it was
Mia
just
related
like
questions.
she was during 1 week or something. She
No,
had
I
sex
thought it
with
was
all
like
3 of
they
these
all
guys
like
and got
run a
pregnant.
train on her in like one night.
Well, I mean, we'd have. to
Oh
ask
wait,
the
I
person
was
who wrote the
watching
musical.
Not a Mamma Mia Triple X, the porn parody.
I was watching Gotta Mia. It's like Stellan Skarsgård and all them just
Dancing
like,
Queen.
How about like Mom in Mia? How's that? No, I
Me
mean,
and
The thing
me
about
and
Mamma
Mama.
Mia 2 is that like they ran out of songs at the end of the first one, so
they used all the
we're
good
going
ones.
to the B-sides.
Abba got any other songs?
Yeah. But
we got a few.
so okay, Pixels. Brian Cox is in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
and he's okay.
He's fine. He's like the usual Brian Cox. He's pretty much playing like General Stryker.
Yeah, he's yelling a lot.
us.
But he commands a room.
He commands a room. He does.
Yep.
So
I like
they're all-
Brian Cox.
They're all
He's
pissed
yelling.
off that like Sandler is in the war room and like absolutely, of course, you should. This like doofus is like, you know,
I wish he was doing that.
Galaga.
He's not. He's really.
Sadly,
he's really
no.
Very
just like,
serious.
I'm Adam Sandler.
They're playing Galaga.
This is I love Adam Sandler saying dialogue that he has no idea what it means. He's like, this is the 1982 Galaga. It was
Yeah.
different on the.
Yeah.
It's like he's like Orson Welles reading cue cards off screen.
It's like, who wrote this copy? So we get Josh Gad shows up.
like
Okay, you know what?
conspiracy
I
theorist.
laughed when Josh Gad shows up while Adam Sandler's driving a van, and Adam Sandler punches him in the face, which causes Josh Gad to fall out of the truck into speeding traffic.
and like roll
Funny.
for like 60 feet.
I
Like,
also
he would be dead.
I laughed when Adam Sandler pulls out a baseball bat to like beat his head in.
Do it.
And he almost does.
So we're all gad hads, right?
Of course.
Gad hags.
Who isn't?
Dad hats.
I think this might be the
Hags.
I'm trying to think of a movie that I've actually seen him in.
Artemis Fowl.
Oh
Yeah.
God.
Also,
Man,
Orient Express.
Did we do that for Patreon?
Yes, we
Artemis
did.
Fowl? That was like right when the pandemic was
Oh
starting.
God. And it was like we've already been suffering through the pandemic.
Suffering enough. Yeah.
No, he came up when we were talking about, I guess, Haunting in Venice because Joe Ramone was
So
talking
I
about
think
his hate
he-
of Josh Gad.
He
Yeah.
became famous because
Book of Mormon.
yeah, Book of Mormon. He was on Book
Yeah.
of Mormon. Yeah,
Like,
and then like
in the
every
Broadway show,
bad
or-
yeah, the Broadway show.
Okay.
I mean, he was famous in my heart for appearing in Marmaduke. He played Banana Dog.
What?
Bandana
He's
Dog.
the voice of one of the dogs.
Oh Jesus.
But yeah, he's a Broadway guy.
What I like about you.
And they keep putting him in movies now, and I think he's probably better on a stage.
I think he's done in movies. I think
yeah.
we've been gadded enough. He'll show up to do Frozen,
Yeah,
which is the other big thing.
right.
but that's it.
Frozen. He's
Yeah.
a snowman.
I think of like him and like James Corden the same. Like why am I thinking that?
I
Well,
think
James
maybe
Corden-
Josh Gad. God, if Sophie's choice, I'd probably pick Josh Gad over James Corden.
Oh,
I
yeah,
would. I
100%.
fucking hate James
Yeah,
100%.
Corden.
people hate James Corden. Like
Everybody
no one
hates
likes
James
James
Corden.
I
Corden.
actually thought he was good in Disney's Into the Woods, a movie that seemingly no one liked but me. But that was before I think he even got his talk show.
Yeah, he was
And
an
I
asshole.
heard-
It's like him and Ellen are like, you know,
No, I-
monsters.
when they
yeah.
walk into a restaurant, it's like,
Yeah.
oh fuck.
No, I read somewhere that like he used to just be a kind of funny comedian, and then once he started, doing all this talk show stuff, he just blew up and was everywhere, and this personality is just like you can't escape it, and that's how he became universally hated.
No, but he's like a huge.
Oh, he's also a
asshole,
huge dick, yes.
Like to everybody,
to his staff,
to like
and,
wait staff.
Well,
to,
not
like,
anymore because he's not on the Late Show or whatever talk show
yeah.
he hosted.
There's a famous
Did he
clip of him.
leave? He left it?
Patrick Stewart is like doing a. It's really funny. It was like I don't know if it was the BAFTAs or something, but it was like Patrick Stewart. James Corden was the host of the show, and then Patrick Stewart came up on stage. And he was wasted, and then he like started insulting
James Corden?
James Corden, and James Corden was like, kind of interrupting his speech, like making these like snide comments to him, and they were like getting into a spat on stage. And it was just like, oh god.
Anyway, Josh Gad is in this movie.
Yeah, he is.
He's
Yeah.
a conspiracy theorist.
I mean, Josh Gad, let's be honest. I know we're all going to fight for it. He has the best part of the movie, of how the movie ends.
What does he?
Which
Well,
part?
he has sex with Kubert.
Okay,
Yeah, I mean, you don't get to see it though.
this is disturbing.
It's not what you
Well,
picture.
you didn't watch the
I like she
uncut
sounded.
version.
I love how she sounded disappointed by that. Well, you don't get to see it.
You don't get to see it.
Well,
Like,
what
what
happened?
would it be? Would it be like him having sex with a beautiful woman that Kubert turns into, and she's like flashing into Kubert? I mean, he has a whole.
But it would
So
be,
we can do
would be
it.
the Kubert tube.
I'm just
Yeah, it would.
imagining
Thing.
him,
Or does he have an anus? Does he have an anus? We
No,
don't
it's
see,
the
like,
mouth.
a cloaca.
But it comes out like it's pro.
Yeah, his nose is a cloaca, so it's everything.
So he's obsessed
Oh,
with
God.
some female character who I'm assuming is not a real video game.
I think
No,
it's a
no,
fake.
no,
yeah.
not a real video
Was it
game.
like Lady
and
Lydia?
it's
or
incredibly
something?
misogynistic.
I don't know.
Yes.
Is it?
Yes,
The
it
fact that
is.
he wins a woman.
He
at the
wins
end
a
of the
woman
movie?
who essentially has no brain and has no reason to like this disgusting
Well, he
man.
gets
And-
his trophy at the end.
Because like when Kubert is in the movie, he is a child as well.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
now
And all-
that's uncomfortable.
now this is so much more disturbing.
And also, Kubert seems to transform into the woman against his will. Later on in the movie, he's like, "Ah!"
Okay.
He like morphs into her.
Okay, this is yeah.
We haven't gotten there yet.
Oh,
That's the end of the
God.
movie.
We've already almost done it.
So it's really just Kubert in like a kind of holographic form of a woman.
Oh, so like
It's
if he
really
tries to
Kubert.
touch her, his hand goes through and like touches Kubert.
Okay,
It's just it's sending the wrong message that
Yeah.
about people.
Kuberts.
Well, about parasocial relationships,
what? Okay.
especially with someone who's not real. It's a character. It's not.
That's the real danger is parasocial
Yeah.
relationships with
with
fictional
video
people.
game
with
characters.
fictional characters.
I don't know. Yeah, I'd rather people get obsessed with fictional characters than real life characters.
I guess so
please.
because there's not real people to
Yeah.
hurt and stalk.
All right, so we haven't gotten to the whole bit, which is they find out that there's aliens. They want to play games with them.
So yeah,
because of a thing they sent up to space.
Yeah, Dan Aykroyd sort of says in like this whole like a diarrhea vomit at the beginning, like, NASA's gonna be videotaping this event and sending it up into space. So then somehow the aliens took that as like a declaration of war, so that they think that this is how Earth fights, is through these video games.
Yeah, I will say I kind of liked the videos that they send back with the deep fake celebrities. It was kind of funny to me, and it also looked terrible.
Okay, it was like, this is pre-deep fake, so
yeah,
but it's around deep fake.
Oh no.
Okay, but I was gonna say it looks like the Forrest Gump effect.
No, it looks like the Robert Smigel when he goes on Conan O'Brien.
And they do the clutch cargo thing.
Yeah,
it's a little better than that.
It's slightly better than that, but not as charming. But they have everybody. They have like Madonna. They send like
Hall & Oates, Fantasy Island, Ricardo Montalban, and Tattoo, and I said Hall & Oates. Who else?
Madonna.
President Reagan.
Yeah.
But the funny thing was, like, when they have...
Do you think President Reagan's family have to sign off on him, like,
that's weird.
gibberish?
It's his likeness.
That's like, he may have said that. So
wait, so that's how they're going to get around it legally? It's like, we have no confirmation he did or did not say that.
He could have said it.
He could have believed it. But I love how when they had Fantasy Island, and then they had Tattoo, and then I think in the next scene they go to get Peter Dinklage from jail. And then he says, okay, if I do this, I want an island. And I was like, oh, is he going to end up on Fantasy Island?
No,
he wants to have sex with Martha Stewart and
Serena Williams.
Yeah. Man, didn't one of the Williams sisters show up in Knives Out 2 at one point?
Yes.
There's like a joke about that?
Yeah. It may also have been Serena. I don't know.
They're like, I have so many gambling debts to pay. I keep betting against myself.
One of them did a voice on Avatar: The Last Airbender.
Oh,
it was like a one-episode character, but still. So one of them does voice acting. I'm sorry, I don't know which one. But
they're twins.
Okay, so
They
getting to the plot. The plot is
so DARPA,
aliens.
They go beneath the White House or whatever. Michelle Monaghan is like in charge of DARPA. I don't know what that is. Oh wait, or is it just Darm?
It's not.
It's DARPA.
It's not Dharma.
Like Dharma's from Lost, right? DARPA.
They never say.
So, and then she's basically like Q. She's like inventing all these like weapons and blah blah blah. And then she's like, "Oh, good morning, Michael." This like scientist walks by and he's got this like glass dome on the back of his head that is okay.
Yeah, there's no joke there.
There's no joke.
But visually, it looked cool.
Yeah, it's like
but.
He's not a character. He doesn't say anything else in the movie.
No, he shows up throughout the movie, though.
And Adam Sandler is just like, you guys got robots?
It's like, what? Okay.
Cool. And that's it.
That's it.
Yeah, it doesn't play into anything.
It's a little underwritten. But I thought it looked neat.
They have to go and train General Strikers, like Navy SEALs, I guess. They have to like train them on video game playing.
This is where you saw a person you have met.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So when I was on set for Incredible Hulk, we had like two stand-ins, one for Hulk and one for Abomination. And they would have these like backpack rigs on with like little paper cutouts for their heads for how tall they were supposed to be. Like, so they could frame the cameras
when they're
up.
Hulk or whatever.
And he was really big. He was like 6'6" or something. So there's this dude. Yeah, I think his name was James or something. But he had like long blonde hair. He looked like Thor pretty much.
Oh.
And I was kind of his handler. I was like in charge of like.
It's funny imagining you.
Like, was he trying to get into trouble or something like that?
No, they just had to like take him off to the side, make sure he's ready when we call him onto set. And I would like, okay, James, like, because I had the walkie-talkie, and it's just like, all right, you need it on set.
Also filmed in Toronto, you have to say.
Yeah. So
is he bald in this one?
No, he has like a kind of beanie on.
Okay.
But I remember
he's in a bunch of shots in that.
Yeah, scene. And what was it? Like Kevin Feige was on set for Hulk, so he was like. He's like, oh,
Colin, do you have any tips?
Yeah,
this is my voice, Kevin Feige.
No, but then this guy James is like, oh man, they're auditioning for Thor. You know, I want to get in touch with that Kevin Feige guy and see if I can audition, because he kind of had like the same build, but you know, he's no Chris Hemsworth.
No, but it's funny. It's funny you say he had long blonde hair. He was like planning, like, ooh.
Well, he was. That was just his look, and he was trying. And there was some news report on him like, oh, he's trying to get the role for Thor and blah blah blah.
So the conceit of this movie is they've already created a weapon that can kill the cubes essentially, but they need Sandler and Josh Gad to teach them the strategy
But
what
they
to
don't.
shoot.
Yeah,
well,
they
they
don't.
kind of
They have
do.
this like shitty scene where they train the SEALs. It's like a montage, but
then
nothing,
they don't-
nothing comes of it.
Yeah.
And then they go to London. We meet like Sean Bean.
Sean Bean not in this movie enough.
And Fiona Shaw. Is she like the Prime Minister?
Hey, we can tell our Fiona Shaw story. Well,
Oh, yeah,
we saw her on an airplane. That's the story.
That's it.
Well,
And she was like, "Fuck off."
no, she was really nice, but we were like we were on the same plane, and then we were right behind her at customs, and then we were right behind her on the elevator, and then on the escalator, and then right across from her in the elevator, going across the water.
Yeah, it was like her and her
So
wife.
she was really nice by you didn't talk to her?
We did not
we
talk
didn't. I
to
didn't
her.
want to say anything.
And she wasn't like pooping or vomiting or anything like that?
We were on a very hot flight because there was no air conditioning.
Oh, it was a
and-
brutal
yeah.
flight. But anyway, it was her and her wife. They were coming back, and April was like, I think that's Fiona Shaw. And I'm like, actually, yes, I think I know, because I know her like wife is like some famous like.
Well, maybe she lives
economist or
here
something.
like part time or whatever. But Fiona Shaw is great. She's in so many things, and
She's
always
uncredited
good.
in this movie.
Whoa, really?
Is she really?
Yeah, it says
Probably
Prime
by-
Minister uncredited.
Yeah, probably by her
Don't put
request.
my name in this movie. But she is funny in this.
Yeah,
in
she's
the one
funny.
scene, and yeah,
And
Sean
Sean
Bean also funny. Like
Doesn't die.
no, all of these kind of not all of them, but a lot of these kind of bit parts are pretty good. It's a shame no one really wrote very many jokes for anybody.
No. They just have like Centipede. So I guess this is like the second game. Okay, so
Don't
like
hit the middle.
Michelle Moynihan like figures out that we get like 3 chances, like 3 coins or 3 lives when you
3
have like a quarter.
lives, yeah.
So like the first attack where like people died was like that was our first life. So this is like a centipede attack. So they
but
do
there's more than 3.
well.
No, it's about how many lives they have.
Oh,
I think
right.
the other.
So there's 4 attacks because we won 1.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so you get
gotcha.
3 lives. So, but like you were saying, Justin, it's like, okay, playing like Centipede, looking down at a screen from like a top-down view is very different from holding a gun and looking up at the
It's
sky
zapping, yeah.
and playing it as like a first-person shooter. It's like
And
a
he
completely
he
different
says
thing.
as much in the movie, because you missed this scene where he's playing video games with the shit boy, and he's like, well, I like first person shooters, and he's like, I don't know how you play this, there's no pattern, and he's like, well, you just try not to die, that's the game, and then that
okay.
kind of comes back later.
Well, because
Yeah.
he's like, basically, it's like the way you used to win at video games way back in the days. You would remember all the patterns that like the ghosts went through, like the Pac-Man maze and all this
Yeah,
sort of stuff.
and they say this like he's the first person to ever like come up with
Oh, he's the greatest person in the world, April.
That's right. He's our Lord and Savior
in the world. Oh, but they do
whatever his name is in this movie.
So he comes to like the rescue and saves all the Marines because he's like, "Whoa, Shabba doo!" And he's like shooting all like the centipede. Again, like really good effects, like very fun looking scene.
Yeah, it looked great.
That climaxes with Brian Cox and Sean Bean
Yeah.
grabbing each other in fear, and then Adam Sandler's like, "Hey, stop holding
Stop
yourself."
being gay.
Stop
guys.
holding
Yeah.
each other. Yeah,
like,
so I
oh.
didn't like
And
that.
the audience is like, "Yeah!"
And then there's a lot of like '80s needle drops and.
Oh, I
these
liked the
scenes.
music, but it's just because I'm a dumb person, and you play good music, and then I go, yay!
Yeah, exactly. You get Guitar Hero. And it's like,
Yeah,
it's like,
but
we
I
will-
can't
Will
help
we
it.
will
Rock
rock
you.
you.
Yeah, I
You
can't
got
help
Cheap
it. I
Trick.
like 80s music.
yeah, you get Cheap Trick and like Queen multiple times the same song.
So April's like, "Take on me."
Yeah.
I love
And,
Mario.
I do love-
Everybody's working for the yeah.
the
I hated it when they
weekend.
did it in Mario movie, but because that has good music associated with
I
it.
did like the scene where he's chasing the last centipede through the city of London, which is like totally Toronto,
It's
and then they
Toronto, yeah.
like he goes to this apartment building, finally like kills the centipede, and it falls on this like small child, and he's like,
Oh
the
yeah,
child is
I
like,
screen capped that.
who? I'm like, first of all, whose
Who
child
are
is this? Who are you? And he's like, hey kid, oh that was what it's from. I'm just
Yeah.
a loser. I was good at old video games. He's like, well,
And he's
thank
like- the
God
kid's
for
like-
that.
Thank God for that. Like that's not even like a joke punchline.
It's not.
Like, yeah.
That's just him.
I was
I mean,
expecting
the joke
to
would
do-
be the kid being like, ugh. Like,
Gross, yeah, or something.
Yeah.
What a fucking loser.
No, he's great.
He's
We
like,
love him.
It's like, you boy, what day is this?
I thought they were gonna do like a Christmas Carol.
Yeah, me
thing,
too.
But
Whatever.
No.
And then so they go out like drinking afterwards with like all the British people, and then like, oh, they bring out Crystal Head vodka.
Hey, there's the Crystal
Don't you
Head
remember
vodka. I love how she just pulls it like from off screen. It's
Yeah.
not even like,
He's
hey,
like, I need a real drink.
Yeah, you
even
just see like
hey, Johnny, get me a bottle of
Dan
that vodka.
Aykroyd's hand like coming from off screen.
It's like a Wayne's World joke.
It really is
now
like
you're
that.
contractually obligated. You signed the contract.
But anyway, we got to get Peter Dinklage back.
Peter
in this
Dinklage,
movie.
he's back. They go to like
They bust him out of prison where he is.
Why
for
was
some-
he in jail? I forget.
I missed it.
Yeah, me
maybe
too.
taxes or something. But apparently he is talking like Gambit for some reason.
He
in this
has like a
scene.
very southern like kind of comes and goes.
What are you talking about? Peter Dinklage is the master of accents, like his
Tiptoes.
vaguely British one in Game of Thrones.
I saw Peter Dinklage in a movie the other day that was from way before Game of Thrones, and I was like, hey, and he was hilarious. He's always good. Like I've never seen him not be good, even in Tiptoes. All right, so talking about
I have a
accents.
little film here called Unfrosted that Peter Dinklage is in.
What?
Have you guys watched that yet?
No.
Yes.
Yet.
Yes, we did. We watched Unfrosted.
Oh, that movie.
But I
Jerry
gotta say,
Seinfeld
I,
movie.
God.
I don't remember Dinklage in it.
Was he in that?
Yes.
I don't.
According to IMDb.
Yes.
I love
Why did you guys watch Unfrosted?
April,
Because
like-
you just wanted to see. I thought maybe it could be a Patreon.
It was more like a dare.
I just
yeah,
want to see how
we're
bad
doing
it is.
Unfrosted, Justin. I was like, all right.
Yeah, we
you
kinda-
guys can talk about
We
it.
watched it in like 2 sessions.
We watched it over 2 nights.
was
It's
terrible.
really bad.
You heard it here first or last.
I gotta
Yeah.
say,
we get Nick Swarsden here.
he shows up for one
Yeah,
scene.
because he's like, oh, tell them the third video game is happening, and he's like, oh, what did you see? And he's like, oh, it's like it was Pac-Man.
And I mean, scary Pac-Man. This scene was pretty cool. Running downtown in the financial district of
Pac-Man
Toronto.
scene was pretty cool. So yeah, around Toronto, and this is a scene where I was like, okay, maybe they could fire guns, but what's this driving cars like? And they're
Well-
all amazing drivers.
Yeah, like Josh Gad probably doesn't own a car.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of get what they're going for because it's like whatever. They're probably sponsored by Mini Cooper or something. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then it's
It's
just like
silly.
So they do like the 4 cars or like the 4 ghosts. So they have like Inky, Pinky, Blinky, and
Blinky,
Clyde, I think.
yeah.
And then and then the 4th car is like the creator of Pac-Man.
Now, Justin, was this an actor or was this actually the creator?
it was an actor.
Okay, it was.
not the creator.
Okay.
Of
Because I'm thinking
We thought it was.
if he was the creator of Pac-Man, he's also a very good actor. Usually,
Apparently
no,
not.
it was not him.
usually they would just point to someone and say, "Hey, it's so and so. He created Mario,"
Yeah.
and then they would just nod from across
But
the room.
He shows up at the beginning, I think, in the credit sequence. He's like fixing.
Oh,
a
he's fixing the
arcade
Pac-Man machine,
Yeah.
right? Okay.
But I really didn't think that there would be Nintendo stuff in this movie, and there is. It doesn't come until the last big scene, but Nintendo in this movie. And also, speaking of the Mario movie, this movie actually has a lot in common with the Mario movie. Like there's like the driving scene, you know.
yeah, this is actually a really fun
and
scene.
I liked that. So I guess maybe the stuff about this movie that I like is because I like video games, you know.
Yeah, but they
I have an affinity for
Do you
video
think?
games. Yeah.
I mean, I like video games too.
You
sure,
didn't
but
like this movie?
you know.
No, bad.
No, I kind of like I like the kind of setup. I like what they're doing. They got the high angle of the city and all the city streets.
It's like I'm
it's like
playing
a
the
Pac-Man
game.
maze. It's fun. It's like good. It's fun. It's some good visuals. I just wish Sandler was somebody else. But,
Yeah, and then he of course has this big moment in what I thought was the end of the movie.
it feels like the end of the movie.
Turns out there's a whole other
And then I have,
scene to
like,
go.
April, and then I hit pause.
Yeah.
Nope, it's like 35 minutes to go.
So in the final attack after this gala that really is
Sandler
stupid.
defeats the Pac-Man,
Yeah.
by the way.
Josh Gad sings a song that I like terribly, and I was like, boo, get off the stage. And then we got to do Donkey Kong.
Yeah,
and
'cause
I
it's-
wasn't expecting this.
Well, it was established at the beginning that I guess he
Yeah, it was established at the
yeah,
beginning.
I mean that was the game that he played.
he loses against Dinklage. Was it? Yeah, it was Donkey Kong.
yeah.
So he has to play a live action Donkey Kong. What would happen was like, oh, you get to play, and then Adam Sandler would go, ah!
Yeah, seriously.
I'm a 52-year-old man or whatever.
That you have to jump
Yeah.
like 5 feet over this flaming barrel. He'd be dead instantly.
Visually though, it was
And I
kind
love-
of cool.
I love how he's like, I gotta reset the game. I was like, what does that mean? What's going
He
on?
says that because that's what the kid said earlier, but
it
you
makes
don't
no
reset
sense.
the game.
Yeah.
All right,
It's-
we skipped a big part too,
We-
which is that Peter Dinklage cheated at the game, and I'm like, how? How did he cheat at the
And he
game?
had the cheat codes. Well, we have this big. So basically, it's like as soon as Pac-Man is over, they have this big ball. The president has like a black tie ball for all these people. Peter Dinklage shows up with like Serena Williams
Yeah.
because it's like, what did he say? It's like his dream. He's like, I want Martha Stewart and Serena Williams.
Yeah.
She shows up with them. Poor Serena Williams. Like, you don't have to do this.
Hey, she got a paycheck.
Neither was Martha Stewart at the end of the movie.
She looked CGI'd in.
She was
Oh, you
probably.
think so?
Do you think Martha actually showed up to the White House window and was like, "Hello"?
It's the same technology they used to get Max Headroom in this.
Oh my god!
Played by the real Max Headroom.
Also, Hall and Oates, they do their own voices.
They do their own voice. I could not believe that was actually Matt Frewer.
No, it is actually Martha Stewart in Pixels.
Wow. Okay.
Crazy.
She got to pay. She probably did it for free.
It was just like a.
I don't think she
would
yeah,
not do
because she
anything for
loves
free.
video games.
But
Yes.
does she need the money?
I don't know. She
I
went
mean,
to
do
prison.
any of these freaks need the money?
Matt
They're doing-
Frewer
Do you think
probably does.
Serena Williams needs the money.
I guess.
Matt Frewer is a fat cat off of Millennium Money. Wait, what show was he in? Not Millennium. That's a Lance Henriksen.
Yeah. No. What was that one?
Because he had the Canadian equivalent that I watched a lot of as a kid.
No, he was in Lawnmower Man 2.
Yeah.
No, yeah, but he had a Canadian TV show he started.
Did he really?
I can't look at
Oh,
Matt
shit.
Frewer's IMDb credits because he has a million.
Oh fuck!
Well, I
Frewer
mean,
TV
I don't know.
series.
I think I know the one you mean.
Sci Factor.
Factor!
Oh, I
Yeah,
remember
and it
that
lasted like 4 seasons. Yeah, that
Yes.
was like the Canadian X-Files.
Wait, that wasn't that hosted by Dan Aykroyd?
Yes, he showed up at the beginning
Yes.
of every episode.
Cor-
Even though it was like, imagine X-Files
Yes.
if like Kiefer Sutherland or something would show up and he's like,
Yes.
what we're about to see is
Yeah.
Why does he keep coming up?
Yeah, it
Dan
was like
Aykroyd?
Core. When I worked at Core, we worked on Sci Factor.
I remember an episode because isn't the whole idea that he introduces every episode under the
He's like-
premise that this is real?
Yeah, it's like Canadians like Rod Serling.
I remember as a kid, I was like, wait, but this episode is about like a grown man that turns into a baby.
Oh,
I
it's
don't
all
think-
fake. It's all.
Is
Is
it
it
bullshit.
an anthology or is Matt Frewer in every episode?
I think it's an anthology, isn't it?
Whoa, wait. No, Matt Frewer is in every episode.
Wait, did they
Is
just
he like a
invest?
paranormal
So wait,
investigator? or
Yeah,
something?
paranormal investigator. It's
So-
like X-Files.
So they have an intro person like a Rod Serling.
Yeah.
Yes,
introducing
that's
the
why it's so
X-Files.
weird. Yes.
That's really weird.
Wait. So the show was created by Christopher Chancon and Peter Aykroyd. Peter Aykroyd.
I bet you that like Dan came up with the premise for every show.
He co-wrote Nothing But Trouble. Peter Aykroyd.
Oh God Almighty!
Coming soon to this podcast.
He's the Jim Belushi of. Wait, we're doing Nothing But Trouble.
Oh yeah,
Maybe.
Oh,
maybe.
oh right.
we
yeah.
may have a special guest coming in for that.
It's all your fault,
Okay.
Colin.
I know, but whatever.
But anyway,
I like Nothing But Trouble. I like the big babies.
What?
Like,
Really?
apparently it must be seen. But speaking of Dan Aykroyd, this movie reminded me a lot of that new Ghostbusters movie, especially
Yeah.
all these scenes at night. And I gotta say, I think
Wait.
this was better. I
All
don't
the
know.
glowing
Then
stuff.
wait.
Yeah.
The Frozen Empire.
No, no. Sorry, I meant the Melissa McCarthy one.
Oh.
Yeah,
Fuck.
what are,
Like the angry
glowing-
video
Answer-
game nerd.
Answer
No,
the
I'd rather
Call.
watch. I'd rather watch Answer the Call than this.
I didn't like Answer the Call very much. I found it very annoying.
Yeah, because you really wanted them
Answer
to
the Call.
respect the fans and bring the
thing is,
characters back.
I'm not even.
Oh,
a
that's what it was
Ghostbusters
called. Answer the
fan.
Call.
It
No,
wasn't
I would
called
rather
that
watch
until
this
like 2
than
years
that.
after. Yeah, I think this was better than that.
Wow.
Yeah. That was just a bloated like
Wow,
rambling.
that had Chris Hemsworth who made me laugh in that movie.
Not enough
I don't know.
though. It
I don't
wasn't
know.
enough to save it.
The Dinklage.
Cracking
me up.
It was a bit much at the end of this movie where they're like, now it's every video game character, and it was hard to like see what I'm even.
I didn't recognize any of them.
But
So
I was like, there's Paperboy, there's Frogger.
I was like back in my element. It was like, you got Burger Time, you got the fried
beer Tapper,
the fried eggs, and like
was Tapper in there? Because I know Tapper.
I'm sure he was in there somewhere.
I thought it was regular
probably.
beer.
Yeah, you get like you get Mario in there.
Yeah, Mario shows up, which I was kind of shocked.
Yeah, they had some good stuff. They had the purple ninjas. I don't know what they're from, but
So anyway, for some reason, the girl that Josh Gad is lusting after shows up and is not pixelated, even though everything else is
pixelated, and then she becomes like real
for absolutely no reason.
I don't know.
He confesses his love to her, and she concedes for absolutely no reason.
It's Josh Gad.
And then eventually
Frozen money.
Broadway star.
And then eventually she becomes Pixels and flies away. But Qbert turns into her, as we mentioned before, which again makes absolutely no sense. And am I asking too much?
This Qbert, who for the rest, okay, we didn't even mention Qbert shows up in the middle of the movie.
Yeah, Qbert.
So basically,
he talks like a baby. He loves cheese puffs. He pisses himself at one point.
He does, yeah.
He's like a dog.
Well, it's basically whoever wins the game gets
a prize.
Trophy, I guess.
So they get one of our humans, and then we get one of their things. And one of the things we win is Qbert. He's just hanging around. He's wearing a tux at some point.
They bring him to the ball.
For some reason, and
it's very silly.
It's very strange. And then he's jumping on the trampoline with Michelle Moynihan's
son.
I keep saying Moynihan.
I don't know if it's
Monahan.
I don't know. I've heard Moynihan.
I think it's Monahan.
Michelle Monaghan.
Why?
That's Moynihan.
Moynihan.
Bobby Moynihan.
Why is it musical guest? Why is the kid in this movie?
Well, because it's a PG movie.
He doesn't do anything.
Yeah, we need a kid.
Yeah.
Like,
you need a kid to have the point of view of the kids who are seeing this movie.
It's so stupid, though. He doesn't do anything.
I agree. Hey, there was kids all over that grown-ups movie.
At least he wasn't like, I'm going to save the world. I know how to fit.
No,
you probably enjoyed when the kid seemingly died, where he's like,
yeah,
I was sucked up in the pixels.
I wasn't really bothered by this
I was clapping.
Kid.
I was like,
but anyway, we already mentioned how he beats Donkey Kong by learning that he didn't lose that original game because
you were in second place, motherfucker.
He cheated.
In the world.
He's like, what? And then he gets the ambition to do it, and it's kind of sad. Where again, Adam Sandler is 50 something, and he's like,
and he's like
he's
jumping in front of a
life.
CGI. He's wasted his life.
And this is the best thing he has.
He's not even giving jobs to his friends in this movie.
I mean, Kevin James, I guess, but
yeah.
Oh, we forgot to mention Jane Krasowski is in this for 2 scenes.
Oh my god!
Well, no, and she says no lines.
I think she has one.
She kind of giggles and talks in the cake scene, and that's it.
Yeah, I feel like
what the fuck?
What happened?
Her
scenes were cut out,
or was
something?
there scheduling conflicts or something with 30 Rock? What the fuck is going on?
I don't know. Yeah, she's arm candy for Kevin James.
That's insane.
Very weird.
It's absolutely insane.
So yeah, Kevin.
They just want to, winning women. They want to set it down in text earlier in the film.
Yeah, that if you're successful, you get women. And
that's pretty much what it is. It's like also, everybody wins a woman.
But they kind of established that with the Michelle Moynihan character, where he's like, if I had a yacht, you'd go out with me. And later she's like, yes, I would. So women are shallow.
Little Dinklage.
They're attracted to money.
Dinklage wins 2 women.
Yeah, everyone is winning women.
Yeah, winning women. Except Josh Gad, he's like...
Isn't it weird there's no women on the team of this movie?
Well, Michelle Moynihan.
Does she do anything?
She's doing everything.
Yeah, she does. She makes everything. She makes all the tech.
Oh, but she doesn't actually interact in the video game.
Well, in the last one, she does.
Donkey Kong, she does.
Yeah, she does.
They give her a gun and she shoots the Smurf, if you recall.
Yeah, and you get Josh Gad. He's boning.
Where was Ralph?
Ralph?
Wreck-It Ralph.
I actually haven't seen those movies.
Anyway, and Kevin James giving a speech on the White House lawn. He's now part
and now
of them.
Everyone loves Kevin
the
James.
Arcaders.
Hey. Oh, there's also a funny scene where Robert Smigel tries to shame him at a press conference, and then everyone shames Smigel.
Yeah.
And they point at him and laugh.
Yeah, it's just like, all right, whatever.
Well, by the way, so we're at the end of the movie. I don't know what we all said was our favorite things, but I did bring up several things I liked about this movie.
I liked the effects, like the design they went for.
I like the
It was
music.
really well done.
I like Peter Dinklage. Justin?
I love Bobby Monahan. No, let me think of something. I had something and then I lost it. Oh yeah, I like that Josh Gad has sex with Cuber. That's my favorite.
At the very end, and reproduces.
Oh.
So what is he gonna do with all these little baby Cuberts?
Daddy.
Make them into women so we can also have sex with them, starting a new race.
Yeah, it's like a cult of Cubert.
Ew.
So that's the movie.
I just swear.
While this movie was blissfully under 2 hours, they could have shaved 15 minutes off of this.
Chris Columbus, in an interview I heard before the movie came out, said, "We've tested this movie, and I'm going to be honest, we got the next Ghostbusters."
It does sound like something he'd say. Pixels, come on. But again,
we have the next Ghostbusters answer the call.
Yeah. I stand by what I said. Out of all the ones that we've watched this month, this has been the best.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you get to pick next, right, April?
Well, we're doing the
Ooh.
commentary next, so I'm gonna say yes, I will pick that, but we'll discuss it as a group, and then
I thought we already voted on Click.
We'll talk about it. We'll talk about it after we
Yeah.
conclude. But yeah. This is a movie that when it came out, kind of everyone was making fun of it, and the consensus was that it is bad. And while it's not a great movie, it's not as bad as I was led to believe. I'll put it that way. And was this profitable? Because it has like a 14% on Rotten Tomatoes.
It made $244 million worldwide, so it did make double its budget back.
Yeah, it made money.
That's pretty good.
So good for Sandler, I guess. Another winner.
Yeah, another win.
Yeah.
The greatest man.
Yeah, and
So good at everything.
I know. If you want to watch this movie, you can rent it off iTunes for $6 or buy it off iTunes for $6.
Or go to a Walmart, go to the DVD bin, you'll find a copy.
I recall seeing a lot of those in Best Buys and
dare
stuff. Yeah. And if you want to email us, we're at nosuchthingasabadmovie@gmail.com, and we're on Twitter and Instagram and YouTube at nosuchthingpod. And if you want to support us on Patreon, patreon.com/nosuchthingasabadmovie. If you subscribe at the $5 level, you'll get a little bonus episode every 2 weeks. And as I said, next week we're going to release a full-length commentary on some sort of Sandler movie. So you can sync that up, or you can just listen to it on your own. And we've got other commentaries on there, over 100 of these mini episodes. So check it out if you are so inclined. And if you want to find me on the internet, I'm on Twitter and Instagram at April Atmansky.
You can find me on any social media under my name, Jocelyn Decloux, DECLOUX, and every week on the Important Cinema Club.
You can find me on Twitter, Sergeant Zima, SGTZIMA.
And that's it for this week. We're almost done, you guys. We got
2 more movies.
Yeah, 2 more movies and
like that.
one more full episode. No, it's been a summer of sand. Man.
Yeah.
Summer of Sandman. Okay.
Who knows what'll be up next? But
Can we watch a good one? Like one that
maybe.
Hey man, we just did.
We just
It
did.
doesn't get any better than this.
Well, thanks for joining. Thanks for joining.
I want to visit the hotel, Transylvania, blah blah.
Oh, no.
It actually is supposed to be good.
Weren't there like multiple?
4 of those?
No.
Even though
3.
there's 4,
my God.
and in the 4th one, it's an Adam Sandler impersonator.
No.
Whoa.
Oh,
Yep,
we may
it
have
is.
to do that one.
Well,
It's
that's
bad.
not
It's
him.
bad. Yeah,
And-
that doesn't count. It's not him.
Yeah, but is it a Happy Madison production?
It wouldn't be if it wasn't.
Ooh, that's a
him.
good detail.
Well,
That's a
maybe.
good,
I don't think so.
It's a Nappy Haddison production.
Anyway,
Jen D. Tarkovsky quit making those movies because he said Adam Sandler was too hard to work with.
Really?
oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Okay.
Well, thanks for joining
He
us.
wouldn't stop doing the
I'm
voice.
April Atmansky.
The pooper.
I'm Justin Decloux.
I'm
You
Colin
want to talk
Cunningham.
Hopeville Transmit?
Oh,
And remember, there's no such thing as a bad movie.